560, 96.1 FM, and 87.7 FM. This hour of Sports 56 Happy Hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
Check it out right here.
Ladies and gentlemen, and now,
The only man to give death a near Johnny experience. Johnny Harden.
Yo, it's Friday, people. Welcome into Little Sports 56 Happy Hour. Your good buddy Johnny Radio, along with Gabe Kuhn. Check us out, of course, on our new FM dial, 98.5. Check out also 96.1 FM. It's also just awesome. And don't forget to follow us at Johnny_Radio on Twitter. He's at G_Kuhn71. And don't forget Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, Instagram, streaming right now at Sports 56 WHBQ. Now, guess what, people? We got a lot to get into today. We got the lead off with Mr. Gabe Kuhn. We got fantasy football with Jimmy McCormick. Then we have Lee, who likes to break down all the games from Paramount Sports. Mr. Lee Sterling, trying to make you rich. Make that money rain. There's also some fights this weekend. It's going to be fun. And then we got, of course, Alex Kuhn, Gabe Kuhn's brother, also a journalist. And I don't know how to explain it, but if you haven't listened to them, they're fun segments. So we got a lot to get to today. But I got to start off with a few things. I'm so fired up about Tennessee and Pittsburgh. I can't believe that. I'm already thinking about it. It's Friday. I want to see Mika Fitzpatrick, the dude who's pulling all these interceptions, taking it back to the house. I want to see him, if he's going to go Josh Norman or if he's going to take down Derrick Henry. You know what I'm saying? I want to see what TJ Watt and that Steelers defense can do against Tennessee. I want to see what Ryan Tannehill really is. I want to see how, Big Ben was written off of not too long ago. Now look at this Steelers team and Big Ben, and he's throwing it all over to everybody and their grandmother. We got a lot of great things to talk about this weekend. Plus, I got to remind you, the Raiders still have no offensive linemen. They're all sick. They've moved the game out of the primetime slot, but I don't know what they're going to do with the Bucs-Raiders game. It's kind of making me laugh. And now I have to ask everybody a question because we're going to ask this to Jimmy McCormick. Hit me up at 67129. Michael Thomas missed practice on Thursday with a hamstring issue. Is Michael Thomas and the Saints having serious issues? I'm gonna ask him that because he was suspended last week for fighting. Now he's out of practice with a hamstring. Talking about maybe he's not going to play this week. They're kind of a little mum on everything. It just seems like there's a little strain on that relationship, which kind of freaks me out. He was only the best receiver last year in the NFL, and he's not even playing this year. And if you have him in fantasy football, how ticked off are you? Probably really. It's kind of like if you got Austin Eckler as your second running back and he goes down really early in the season. But anyway, we're going to talk Jimmy McCormick at 1:30. And I also have to say the Big Ten. We'll talk about this. I don't know if you've heard about the cancellation policies. They have to play 6 games to be eligible for whatever, the Final Four. They will not have a makeup date. If the game is canceled, the game is not played. That is interesting. Gabe Kuhn, by the way, before we get to the leadoff, did you know about that with the Big Ten until recently?
I did because they were playing their games. It was, 8 games in 8 weeks. So they don't have any reschedule possibilities.
Nope. It's kind of
and their threshold for positivity rate is 5%. Again, I think they have tried to get out in front of it and make sure that they're trying to keep all of their athletes in one place and make sure the spread does not happen. But again, that 5% positivity rate scares the hell out of me. I can't lie.
I'm not lying. I don't know how it's going to work out. And again, if you get of people, you're going to miss 2 weeks, and you can only miss 2 weeks because you have to have 6 games to be eligible for the playoffs.
But certainly you're bringing this up because we have our first Big Ten weekend of football, and tonight, first Big Ten game, Illinois at Wisconsin. Wisconsin, 14-ranked. Illinois, of course, has not been great, but they had a step up last year. Not horrible.
Not at all.
Lovie Smith seems to be improving there.
I agree, and I'll tell you one thing. I don't know how good either team's going to be in this the very first game. You're going to give me the Illinois with 20? 20? 20?
And Illinois was the cover king back half of last season.
I think I'm kind of looking at that bad boy, kind of looking at it close. But we're going to talk about lines with Lee Sterling. We're going to talk about everything. Right before we get to the leadoff, I want to remind you, this whole hour is brought to you by Chad Gatlin at MemphisFarmers.com. That's my good buddy Chad Gatlin at MemphisFarmers.com. Call him up, 901-235-1176. That's 901-235-1176. Or just go online to MemphisFarmers.com. You'll see his beautiful picture. You can see all the stuff about auto, home, life, business, rentals, insurance. By the way, don't forget renter's insurance. All you people out there who are renting, life insurance. If you lost your job, it's probably your life insurance is through your work. Make sure that you have a footing for your family. MemphisFarmers.com, the power of farmers, the knowledge of a Memphis man, and having an agent that is actually there for you is a big, big deal. Check him out. That's Chad Gatlin at MemphisFarmers.com. Guess what, Gabe? I am in the box.
So last week at some point we had a conversation about Greg Marshall.
Sure
and
did.
The investigation is starting to heat up at Wichita State. Greg Marshall's in a world of trouble. Let's just call it how it is. Former and current players at Wichita State and now former Winthrop players where he used to coach have accused Greg Marshall of verbal abuse, using racist language, and even at Wichita State, physical abuse. And there will actually, for the physical abuse part of it, multiple people that saw it actually happen. The school is performing an investigation as of right now, like I said. And I just want to know from you, does Greg Marshall coach Wichita State again?
Nope. It's a very simple answer, and I'm going to explain something to you people. This man is the greatest coach in Shockers history, I would have to say. This man took them to a Final Four. He made 7 NCAA tournament appearances with the Wichita State Shockers. And let me tell you a little secret. He's gone. This is a new era. You can feel like you are the biggest, baddest dude at your school. You can act like Bobby Knight, and guess what they're going to do? They're going to axe you, not continue to allow you to act and behave that way. Look what happened with Chambers. Look what's happening around the country in every part of society. You think that somebody's going to allow you to go in there and now physically and verbally abuse people, especially young people. And I have to admit, I was very slow to this. And what I'm trying to say is, I thought the way that I was raised, the way it was done always, was the correct way. Now that I'm a little bit older and I've watched how it actually goes down, I've gone out there with Gabe many a times, but before then I used to hate going out there at practice because they have music. They're playing basically 7-on-7. Everybody, like little girls are out there sprinkling water. I remember two-a-days and like water was a reward, and it literally was, I hate to say it was hell. It was hell, but it made the game so easy and so much fun, and you did it all for the games. But now I realize you can still teach the game. You don't have to physically and verbally and abuse people to get them to learn how to play football. I can't believe this. I was old school. I've now come around and realized you can actually talk to somebody, sit down with them, and look at the best coaches. Yes, you're going to have a little fire. Yes, you're going to get upset when people mess up. Yes, you're going to scream. I understand that. But you're not going to throw chairs. You can't choke out people. You're not going to be a racist. You can't call out people. You can't talk about people's family. You don't want to talk about nooses, that's for sure. There's all kinds of things that you think that you would just inherently know. But I hate to say this. I guess I was lost, and now I'm found, because I used to think that it was absolutely 100% okay to talk to kids like they were dogs and animals, and I don't know why I thought that way.
Because you thought it was coaching.
Maybe
it's the thing that used to bring you around and motivate you. But that's not how everybody works. No question.
They stuck their foot up my keister to make me kind of motivate me. It was constant.
Need a swift kick in the butt
and I was
instead of pat on the back.
You know what I mean? I was the bad one. Like, I was always getting in trouble. Like, one time I ended up, we got a rain down in baseball.
But that's what happens with good coaches. Good coaches know when to pat you on the back and then when to kick you in the butt. That's
correct.
The truth of the matter.
But there's a certain that you can only kick them in the butt so far.
Right. And I think a lot of coaches take that stern attitude, that old school attitude of, I give everyone a kick in the butt. I don't show preferential treatment. I think Greg Marshall's cognizant of that. And this is why I think Greg Marshall's going to get fired. No one's surprised. Not a single person with any relation to Greg Marshall is surprised that this is a thing.
Do you know the only person that's so far come out and said that this is the allegations are false?
Who? Greg Marshall.
Greg Marshall.
Yeah, and the thing is, you talk about he said, she said, and in Iowa with Kirk Ferentz and that staff and Chris Doyle, that was sort of the case. They're like, oh, well, it's he said, she said. You have witnesses saying he's a good coach. You have witnesses saying he's a bad coach. Well, I don't know of a single person not saying that Greg Marshall is verbally and physically abusive, right? It's he said, she said. Everyone's saying this about Greg Marshall.
Did you see what Penn State did to Mr. Chambers?
Gone.
Is it even close to what the allegations are at Wichita State?
It was what Pat Chambers did plus more verbal and physical abuse.
Yes.
Pat Chambers never laid his hand on anybody.
No. What they're saying my man Greg Marshall has done, dude, yeah. I'm honestly shocked that he was able to do it for as long as he has done it and get away with it. But again, in 1998 and all, I'm going to tell you this. In 1998, when he started that's when I was still playing ball. That was cool. For some reason, I didn't have a problem with it.
Does it really surprise you given the success he's had?
Nope, because you know what?
When you have
With
success,
more success, the bigger the ego.
And
the more pressure also.
And the less that people will speak up because they're scared. Because they're saying, okay,
because you're the king.
The people at Wichita, the people of Wichita probably think that Greg Marshall, how much success he's had, he is God's gift to earth. And if you're a player or a coach in that situation, you don't want to speak up. But again, this is going to end badly for Greg Marshall. I think it's just a matter of time.
By the way, last thing I'm going to say, I wasn't going to necessarily go here because, again, I'm going to let this play out. But I just have to also say this. You have to understand. You have Morris, who said he was punched twice. You have my man, who was it? Shaq Morris. Somebody else said he was pushed. Who was it, the dude that was pushed? Because I don't have it in my notes in front of me. Deadgummit. That was going to drive me crazy. Anyway, the point is, there are people who are. Some people are still playing basketball. Some people aren't. Some people are everywhere else. There have been a bunch of players like Kyle Lindstedt, who have literally come out and put their name to it and said, he did this to me.
And it's so wild to think about, what was it, in March, we were talking about how Wichita State had 6 transfers. We're like, what's going on in Wichita? I think we figured it out. I think we've found why that's happening.
Yep, and by the way, don't forget, DeJuan Michael, one of his big-time recruits, before he even came there, decided to bounce when the 6 people left.
Yep.
Yeah, everything's falling apart. And does Wichita State have any choice but to pull the plug?
You have to. You have to at this point.
Did you see that on the video?
Yeah, you have to. It's just interesting, too, and I'm going to move on from this, but no one besides Greg Marshall himself has denied the allegations. And that speaks so loud to me. Now, last night in the NFL, disgusting NFC lease game. Carson Wentz and the Eagles.
Time out. Before you read your question, please. I just want to do one thing. Can I just laugh real quick at Daniel Jones?
Oh, that was so funny, dude. Oh, my God. That was great.
He was gone.
That was fantastic.
And his legs started moving so fast, he just fell.
He's not used to running.
No.
Let's just put it that way. And especially 80 yards.
I cried. I laughed so hard. That's the only thing that made me smile.
That was hilarious. That was hilarious. That's going to be on an all-time blooper reel, no question.
Dude, wait, before we get to it, butt fumble or Daniel Jones? What was
butt
more
fumble's worse, for sure. Butt fumble's worse.
You know, running into somebody's butt is not as bad to me.
Well, at least Daniel Jones was making a good play.
But he fell down.
But it was an 80-yard run.
Dude, he's a professional athlete if he can't run to the end zone with no one around.
No one ever accused him of being a good runner. But anyway, Carson Wentz and the Eagles snuck out the nastiest game ever, 22-21 over the Giants. The Eagles are luckily atop the NFC East with the Cowboys. But Carson Wentz, this is a very interesting thing. Since coming in the league, he's been pretty good. He's never thrown more than 10 interceptions. The last 3 years, he's only thrown 7. Almost a 3-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio since he's been in the league. But this year, he's the league leader in INTs now through 7 games. He's 25th in QBR. That's a 51.9 QB rating. And the Eagles are 2-4-1, so they're not really winning. I want to know from your eyes, from your view, what is happening with Carson Wentz?
I'm going to tell you all something. You ever heard of fool's gold? Have you ever looked at it? You know, you think to yourself, I got me a nugget. I'm rich, baby. and then they go in there and they laugh at you. It looks like gold, but it's not gold. Carson Wentz looked like gold until he got injured. Nick Foles went and won a Super Bowl. Carson Wentz capitalized on 13 good weeks. I went and looked at his numbers. Yes, he didn't throw a lot of interceptions. Yes, you've said a lot of good things, but I'm going to ask you, is this a real winner? Do you know how many wins going into the fourth quarter Carson Wentz has pulled out when trailing by 10 or more?
I don't know the number.
18 games. What do you think is the record? 1-17. Last night's the first fourth quarter comeback he's had in his career. He's fool's gold, people. He is fool's gold. Listen, he can run. He has a cannon. And he's best, by the way, when he's improvising. When you actually have him to run Doug Peterson's dead-gum offense, he ain't running jack, and I'm tired of blaming the receivers like Aguilar and dropping everything. Dead-gum it. Sometimes this guy's going to have to out there make a play. I can also say that about Evan Ingram. Holmes, catch the damn football. Like, that was embarrassing. You cost the Giants the game. Danny Dimes actually dropped that one right in there. Shouldn't have. Carson Wentz, in all honesty, should be 0-18 when trailing by 10.
He should.
Going into the fourth quarter.
He should, but the Giants sort of gifted
But Evan
in that
Ingram,
one.
dude, by the way, did I talk about Evan Ingram yesterday in the drops?
Yep.
What did I tell you? What is going on with him?
Just happens sometimes, man. Just
he's
happens.
got the
Get in the
yips.
funk. You're on a bad team.
Dude,
Not
yeah, it's
easy to
kinda
get into
hard.
a
You don't
groove.
got no
Not easy to get into a
Saquon.
groove. But Carson Wentz has been one of the most. It's a case study. He's got all the tools, and he's been on a slow decline since that ACL injury that you mentioned against the Rams. I believe that was in 2017. He has been on a very, very slow decline, and it's all sort of coming to fruition this year. And you sort of see the long-term effects that it's had on him, and it's not good. It is not good at all.
And the other fool's gold I was going to tell you, with you're trailing by 10 or more, he's 1-17. Trailing it all, his record is just below 500.
And also, and I agree with you, I am tired of hearing, oh, well, he doesn't have this, he doesn't have that. The wide receivers are hurt, his O-line's hurt. I'm tired of hearing it because it's every single year.
Every year.
So
And
at
do we do
some
this with
point, are we
anybody
going
else?
to overcome? Is he if he's an elite quarterback, if he's a quarterback that they say he is, if he's worth the money they paid him, he should be able to overcome it. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Very, very simple. But all right, I'm going to get off my soapbox.
I loved it. Come on.
Now, World Series Game 3, Dodgers-Rays tied 1-1. I like the pitching matchup tonight.
Man,
Very
you ain't
good. The king of elimination games, Charlie Morton, is going to get the nod for the Rays. Walker Buehler gets the start for the Dodgers.
What do you call him the king of?
He's a good pitcher. I mean, I don't know. What do you call him the king of?
He's
Tight pants.
Tight pants, dog. He just
The
won.
king. No, I have a
He's
good
the
one.
king of the bulge.
I was going to say the bulge. There we go. He's the king of the bulge.
There was a battle on the bulge.
So we have the king of elimination games versus the king of the bulge tonight. And who do you think takes the lead in the series tonight?
Oh my gosh. This, I don't know if you remember me. I thought after game 1, I was like, oh my goodness. Clayton Kershaw came out and threw a gem. The Tampa Bay Rays looked like they were swinging at every pitch out of the zone. They were completely out of game 1. Clayton Kershaw, let's be real, he owned them. The Dodgers owned them in game 1. Game 2, you got Brandon Lau popping junts all over the place, dude. 100-mile-an-hour oppo. Dude is just hitting. Then you got, what do we say about Mr. Rosarena? I just love this man. Did y'all go watch him when he was a Redbird? How many people knew he was a Redbird? Probably not many. When he was a Redbird, I never thought he was going to be this guy. I can promise you that. But a Rosarena, Lau, all these guys are doing Austin. Oh, by the way, think about Meadows. Think about just this team and how they're playing. I can't count them out. But my goodness, I love Charlie Morton. But Walker Buehler is in the prime. He's throwing gas. He's got all the stuff. He's got the control. It's like he's got the demeanor. He's kind of reminding me of a right-handed Madison Bumgarner. I know the reason I'm saying that, he's on the left coast. Well, remember what Mad Bum did for the Giants and all those World Series runs? Listen, Clayton Kershaw could not take them on that World Series run. He's now at the end of his career. Walker Buehler might be that guy who elevates them and then takes them not just to one World Series, but maybe a couple, because I think he's that good. Watch him pitch tonight. I think Charlie Morton, he is the king of elimination. He is a super stud of a pitcher. And I'm definitely going to go with Mr. Battle of the Bulge. Plus, that lineup for the Dodgers is so dead-gum good, isn't it? And
it really is.
It just, I mean, when you got Bellinger and just Turner and, oh, my goodness. I mean, you think about that team, just Mookie Betts. I mean, I don't even want to, I mean, you don't even, what do you say about Mookie? Mookie. Again, also, that's it. When you have the best player, the best pitcher, and you have that do factor, I just feel this thing is going Dodgers, but I am scared of you, Tampa Bay. Now, 67129 is the text line, 67129. Why do you need that bad boy? Because we're going to go talk with Jim McCormick. You know what else we're going to talk about? Do you know the highest graded rookies through week 6 are? I got them right here. I'm going to talk to you about that also on the other side. Hit us up with any fantasy questions you got, 67129. Jim McCormick's next. Never forget Chad Gatlin at MemphisFarmers.com. They give you this hour. Sports 56, 98.5, 96.1 FM.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ. Listen to us daily on AM 560, 98.5 FM, and 96.1 FM.
At Jason's Deli, you can stuff yourself full of great deli food that's healthy, fresh, and best of all, it's not expensive. Jason's Deli is all about choice. Whether you're looking for a gluten-free menu, vegetarian sandwiches, healthy kids' meals, or if you'd like to invent your sandwich via the build-your-own selections, Jason's Deli has you covered. And they only use fresh, wholesome ingredients. Choose from the club and specialty sandwiches, paninis, wraps, soups, salads, pastas, and much more. I love the cleanliness in the restaurant, the hospitality, and of course the cost. They have a huge salad bar and great soups, including Southwest chicken chili, fire roasted tortilla, organic vegetable, tomato basil, and many, many more. And if you're planning an event, their catering department is fantastic and can handle any size party. Go check out Jason's Deli's 4 locations. On Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, that's my favorite, on Germantown Parkway in Cordova, at Poplar and Highland, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Chris Price here for Brian Elder Roofing. The storms we've had over the past several months have been devastating to our communities. The rainy season is ahead. You may have not even noticed the dripping in your attic, water stains throughout your home, or even worse, mold and mildew. Please call Brian Elder Roofing and we will send out our project managers to assess any damage. We will not try to sell you a roof if all you need is a repair. We will measure your roof from outer space. 0% for 60 months, even no payments till 2022 are available with approved credit. If you've noticed missing shingles, water stains, leaks in your roof, call us before you call your insurance company at 867-0303. That's 867-0303, and we will provide a free, thorough inspection of your roof's condition.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Are you drowning in IRS tax debt? Get ready for a toll-free hotline. Take advantage of new IRS tax forgiveness programs. Call Civic Tax Relief for free information now. 800-841-0908. 800-841-0908.
Progressive presents The Sounds of the Old World.
The year is 2019, and someone is getting up to use the bathroom at the stadium.
Excuse me? Excuse me? Oh, sorry. Excuse me? Mind if I just squeeze by here?
This has been The Sounds of the Old World.
Brought to you by Progressive, where drivers can still switch and save like it's 2019.
Quote today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
There's an underdog story happening in America. In the moment they have the least, small businesses are giving the most. Well, Small Unites is making it simple for you to support their comeback. Find out how you can donate, shop, and share today at smallunites.org. Proudly sponsored by Capital One.
There's a new commissary in town. In Collierville, Germantown Commissary is doubling. Yeah, they're still going to have the old Germantown Commissary by the tracks, but now there's a huge new Germantown Commissary in Collierville at Poplar and Houston Levee Road. It's huge, too. There's a drive-through. There's plenty of parking. No telephone pole to get in your way. A cool patio. It's right by the track, so the tradition continues. And this is a tradition that's been around forever. That commissary is famous for hickory-smoked, slow-cooked Memphis-style barbecue. They've got a private party room at the new one in Collierville. Self-catering still continues. Party packs for $5.95. Basically, the great ribs, the great pulled shoulder, the great deviled eggs. Everything is there in Collierville and Germantown now. So there is now a Germantown and Collierville style of barbecue. It's called Germantown Commissary.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio.
Kick it over here!
This hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
Yo, it's a Friday on Sports 56 Happy Hour with your good buddy Johnny Radio. You know Gabe Coon's in the hizzy. And now it's time to talk with my good buddy from Fantasy over at ESPN. It is the one, the only Jim McCormick. And we're about to go deep. We're about to go heavy. So hit us at 67129 with your fantasy football questions. And if you don't get to them, if I can't get to all of them, all you have to do is go check out my good buddy Jim McCormick. He's an underscore guy just like Johnny underscore Radio and at G_Coon71. But he's at underscore Jimmy McCormick. Simple as that. At underscore Jimmy McCormick. If you're following me, I just retweeted it out. Check it out and check out the stream. Now, I will also remind y'all, it's a very important day because we got to talk about Sean Kemp and some marijuana. And we also got to talk about a great vet, Jamie Bishop. But before we do all that, let's get to the one, the only Jim McCormick. What's up, Jimmy?
Hey, I thought you guys were going to connect me and Sean Kemp together, but
Dude,
who knows?
I've been trying to get in touch with the glove, and I've been trying, I'm calling him, I'm sending my resume. I don't even know what to do. So I saw him do his little presser, and the glove was out there.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty interesting, didn't you?
The Rain Man.
The
Get
Rain Man going to make it rain green all over. Now, speaking about making the rain green, cash, because most people, when they play fantasy football, it's for a little bit of money. So hit us up at 67129. I got to start with a few questions, Mr. McCormick. And this is for my friend Gabe Coon. It's a flex play. He says, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, Keelan Cole, or Daryl Henderson. Who you got?
Those are tough.
That is tough, isn't it?
Yeah, Henderson's tempting. I mean, I think honestly the safest call, it doesn't seem like it, would be Cole. Cole has 5 targets every single game this year. He just had a huge game. I mean, I think in that offense, they're just passing all the time. I mean, look, Minshew's on pace for the most passing yards in Jags history. They just drop back all the time, right? Because their defense is like ranked 30th. So I think there's something to be said about him being safer. I think Henderson is, if you need the points and you think the ceiling's there, then, but who knows? It's like Mike Shanahan somehow took over the Rams, right? So we don't know how to figure out the backfield. So I would go with Keelan Cole as the safest.
Man, I actually agree with you, and actually Gabe was kind of leaning that way, so thank you for making us all feel a lot better about ourselves. I appreciate that, Jimmy. Hit us up. It's that simple, 67129. We're going to rock some fantasy football. Now, everybody I've already seen, the majority of questions right now have to do you know anything about this undisclosed not being at practice for Aaron Jones, and what the bleep is going on with Michael Thomas? I got at least 10 questions on each of them.
Yeah, so the thing with Thomas is such a shame is that, it's a hamstring injury that crops up in practice. It's like the worst thing possible. If people who drafted Kenny Golladay remember, you drafted him one night and then you hear about a hamstring injury the next day and it changed his season. Aaron Jones, I think people are still trying to figure out what is the story. He wasn't present in practice. They're saying he will be on the team's final injury report is what the word is. But if anything, you want to have Jamal Williams ready if possible, because this Houston defense is terrible. So if you can get your hands on Jamal Williams, that's great. Otherwise, if you have Aaron Jones, you have to have a plan in place.
Now, do you agree that's going to be a shootout, by the way?
Yeah, I mean, I think just in general, the NFL in general is just really offensively fun. We've been talking
they really
about,
are.
We're talking about these point totals. They're not calling nearly, but that point total is 57. And we know the Houston's thing too. Even on the other side, David Johnson. I think both sides. It's a good one to get in on in terms of just you asked last week about a shootout with Tampa and Green Bay. It didn't come out, but I think this one's a little different. This game might be a shootout.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. I want all I can get of Aaron Rodgers or Deshaun Watson. I think they're both going to have a magical weekend throwing touchdowns all over the yard because I think Packers have a problem at defense. Tampa Bay exposed them. And I think the Texans, we've seen all year, there's a reason they have 1 win and 5 losses because they stink. And their defense has lost them a lot of football games because Deshaun Watson is still a bad man.
He's balling out.
Yeah, he is balling out. Yes, he really is. Now, I want to ask you another one because this one just is coming in, and it's very funny and interesting. This is mostly a DFS. If they're around the same price, Cam Newton or Jimmy G, they're playing each other, who is going to go out there and have the bigger game?
Yeah, so this sounds crazy, but I actually kind of like Jimmy G.
I do too.
There's actually a history. If you listen back, it's like I've already mentioned him. I'm not trying to have it be the Mike Shanahan podcast, but he actually, those Denver teams, those zone read teams, those outside run teams. Those were the kind of offenses that used to give Bill Belichick teams trouble. And what I mean by that, I just think they're going to be able to draw out the athleticism, like to the edge, which the Patriots don't have. So I just think it could be a good game for Jerick McKinnon. It could be a fun little weird game for Deebo Samuel. I still think Cam's okay. It's just that they're not passing the ball. And I think the Niners got smacked around enough a couple weeks ago. It woke them up. And now, ever since that Rams game, I just think they're awake.
I just love this next question. It just says, what the bleep do I do? I have Josh Jacobs. Do I even play him if the Raiders play?
Yeah, so now it all comes down to, this is the COVID NFL. It comes down to, if you guys know this, it's great. I don't know it, but did the offensive linemen, hang out? Were they contaminated after Tuesday? Because if it's Tuesday or later, it seems like they're not allowed to play. If they were contaminated before Tuesday, they might be able to play Sundays, apparently, to work. You need, 4 full days of clearance of passing tests to get back in. So maybe the Raiders have their offensive line. Maybe they don't. I still think that Jacobs is going to be someone that you want to use either way. But if there was, I actually like this game as a fun, sneaky fantasy game as well, just because the Raiders have really gotten into these really fun up and down games themselves. That's a 52-point over-under. So, yeah. And I think Tampa's rush defense is so tough. It's just going to be a tough day for Josh Jacobs.
Man, I think it's going to be honestly, I feel bad for anybody who has to start Josh Jacobs if they don't have any of their linemen. But if the linemen are back, it's one thing. But, man, that Bucs defense, Shaq Barrett, Devin White, you watch what the Bucs do. They fly around the football, and they're already nasty enough if you got a healthy offensive line. If their offensive line in there, I think Josh Jacobs and Carr are both going to get just knocked the bleep out. Now, this is kind of an interesting one. 2 rookies. Who ends up having the better year? Got a trade question. Do you want Justin Jefferson or do you want Chase Claypool? By the way, both of them are having, pretty much record-breaking rookie. I mean, through 6 weeks, they're better than Calvin Johnson, Doug Baldwin in 2011. I mean, they've done some pretty awesome things this year. Who do you like going forward?
Yeah, no, you're right. They've been incredible. I'm going to go with Jefferson. I mean, look, for one thing, they just pulled the brakes from the Vikings defense. They found out that Daniil Hunter's not coming back, so okay, so let's not worry about defense. And they traded off, Yannick and Ngakoue to the Raiders. So what I mean is, they're already 30th in pass defense, and they're like, all right, who cares? They're pulling the brakes because they want to get that pick back. I mean, what I'm saying by that is that it could just be a really fun fantasy season for if you have Thielen and this guy and Jefferson's going to get 1,500 yards this year. It looks like a bank. I just think he's weekly going to be more of a presence than Claypool. Claypool was awesome, and I saw him do it to the Eagles, and he'll be there most weeks. But I just think they spread it around more in Pittsburgh.
Man, I got a lot of rookie questions that are coming in here. What do I do if I have Clyde Edwards-Helaire? Do I try to get Le'Veon Bell, or do I try to get as much as I can for him?
Tough.
That's a tough one in there.
Yeah, he just had a great week, right? He just ran really hard, and
they ran 40 some odd times as a team. That was like a Andy Reid record, I think 44 times, and that's something that
you couldn't recognize that game plan. But they just they're committing to the kid. I mean, the weird thing is they're bringing him in right as he's hitting the stride. But it's kind of like the rich get richer. It's kind of annoying. It's one of these things that's going to be good for their football team, probably, and bad for fantasy. If you can remember last year, what the Kansas City offense was like, Damian Williams wasn't trustworthy throughout most of the season. 1 week you get Darrell Williams, it just was really frustrating last year. I think that's going to be kind of what it's like, just really frustrating. Andy Reid's not here to win you a fantasy championship, unfortunately.
That is that.
And I told him I wanted one. He was like, "No, I'm busy." So.
Now, in all honesty, also, because a lot of people are asking, what do you expect from Le'Veon Bell? Do you expect him to, just catch a few balls? But, I mean, if he catches 4 or 5 passes a game, gets, 5 handoffs, maybe, I mean, he could actually be very beneficial, and Clyde Edwards-Helaire could still eat. That offense puts up a lot of points.
It's possible.
But I do feel like it's going to hurt, both of them a little bit, except for actually, I feel it's going to hurt Helaire. I think the fact that Bell's out of New York, that actually helps his value. But I just don't know if he's is he a flex play or a number 2?
No, it's a good question. Bell gained value. I think they, for whatever percentage that Helaire dropped out of the RB1 tier and into RB2, you had another swing of momentum with Le'Veon gaining value. And I agree with you, with 10 to 15 touches, even less, a dozen touches, you can do a lot of damage in that Chiefs offense. I mean, the scary part is that, the guy pulling all the strings, like Reed, it could just take one press conference and everything could be different. I mean, he could say, now we're going with Bell. I think it's going to be a split. I think Bell might actually, this sounds crazy, I think as long as he looks okay, Bell might actually have more value if they use him in passing situations, because Helaire just doesn't get on the field in passing situations. So whatever you thought Darrell Williams was doing annoyingly, I think it's going to get worse with Bell. So Bell could be fun, but it's again, it's one of these things where our interests are not in their mind right now. The Chiefs are not too worried about the fantasy guys.
Man, Jimmy, this next question, I never thought I'd ask you or ever read it. Who do you start? Josh Allen this week against the Jets or Drew Brees versus the Panthers? Wow, how's Drew Brees fallen?
Yeah, it's gonna be Josh Allen.
I know, that's what I thought. It was pretty easy. I mean, I'm not starting Drew Brees for anything.
No, because Josh Allen is Taysom Hill, and Josh Allen. I mean, he does all the stuff that they ask. He does all the gadget plays and the quarterbacking. I also think they're just due for a bounce back. They had 2 really rough weeks in a row playing Tennessee and Kansas City, getting smacked around. I think they turned that around. And look, you and I both know, there haven't been, it's a parity league. Even the bad teams can be pretty good this year. That's not the case with the Jets. The Jets are a different tier. We saw that happen last week. I just think it's a fun time to load up on your Bills.
Oh, I can't. I'm so glad somebody asked this question. I got AB late as can be. Did I make a really good play?
Yeah, I mean, I think.
Is he? Do you believe he's going to be playing in a few weeks? Is he going to be a Seahawk?
I think so. I mean, they talk about it a lot. And if they're going to, some of these teams, if they're going to if they're going to preempt the PR hit, you know what I mean? It's almost smart for the Seahawks in a way. They're getting some of the PR out of the way. If there's ever a situation where it could work, it's either going to be, it's fantasy-wise, the best situation is Seattle for him and for everybody involved. Whereas if he went to Baltimore, it could be terrible because everybody could get excited and then he gets 3 targets a game. It could be fun. I don't know what to say. You definitely did better than drafting most people's last-round stashes.
Well, how bad would this be for the Metcalf owners and the Lockett owners?
Yeah.
That's if he goes there, who's he stealing from?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, the pie is pretty big there. I mean, I think everybody gets hurt a little bit, just is the point, because there's a third guy jumping into the picture. But it probably would hurt Lockett a little bit more. I don't think Metcalf's really going to I don't think Metcalf loses his verticality from anybody. Nobody can do what Metcalf does. He's basically like John Rambo out there, as a wideout. You're not going to stop that dude. So, if anything, I think Lockett takes the hit. But more importantly, it's more of a thing where you still just might want to be involved in that offense. No matter what.
Ooh, I like this one. This is so fascinating. Is Ezekiel Elliott right now somebody that I should try to target because of a situation? I mean, he's got 5 touchdowns. I mean, he fumbled a couple. This is fantasy football, people.
Yeah, no.
Don't you try? I mean, if somebody's going to give you, if you can get Ezekiel Elliott right now, don't you go and take that?
Yeah,
or is that offensive line too bad?
I think it's one of those things where you're buying low in theory without the true low, right? You mentioned he's got 5 touchdowns. He hasn't been Zeke in quote-unquote Zeke. He has the fumbling problems, and the offense was going so crazy with passing. But there's going to be some huge Elliott weeks, too. There just are. I would get in, especially because, right now the price, like you said, it could be a little bit lowered.
I can't even believe – this is a very interesting question. Todd Gurley's having a pretty good year, man. Is Todd Gurley somebody that I can trust going forward to stay as my flex?
I think he's a flex, and that's the right way to look at him. He's not an RB2 exactly, just because, when he doesn't get past 2, and when game script gets out of the way, meaning if that one random game, Johnny, where Atlanta has the lead before they blow it, they don't really feed him the ball like a neutral team. But in any case, he's fine. Todd Gurley, I think we learned, is no longer the receiving valve. At least they don't use him that way. So that's the only holdup with him.
Wow, man. Oh, man. I just love talking fantasy football. And when you look at some of these totals, there are some high ones out there. Who is it, though, if you were playing in DFS and you were going to bracket somebody with the most points, who do you think is going to – what game are you looking at as being the highest scoring game for the weekend?
I mean, we just talked about the game with a 57 over under, right? What was that?
He's asking Lions and Falcons. He says basically he has in here he's Lions and Falcons. He's like he has Packers, Texans, and I don't know why he has this one because I don't think it's going to be a shootout, but he has 49ers and Patriots. That's like 44.
Yeah, those first two I definitely like, particularly Detroit, Atlanta, because I mean, like I think people are already like going to be trying to price up Green Bay, Houston, just a little bit like the marquee quarterbacks. You take a step down in terms of like what you're expecting with Detroit, Atlanta, but it could be fun. I mean, if there's ever a time DFS wise, I mean, like to get back in on DeAndre Swift or to look in to see any of these like fringe receivers on both teams. Basically, like if you want to get on your Marvin Jones ever, if you want to get your Justin Gages or whatever else that you want to get involved in, you get them in about now.
I like this one. Keeper League, Joe Burrow. Is he going to be somebody at the end of the year that I want to stash?
I would think so. I mean, all depends on your keeper rules, right? Because like,
that's true. That is true. If it's like, I mean, I kind of figured. Don't you think Burrow went pretty late?
It's just like quarterback can be so deep, but like, look, he's really special. And also, here's the thing that I'll give to him. We see it all the time where there's a huge leap usually after once the computer catches up. So there's usually a huge leap between year 1 and 2. I also think you have to maybe price in a leap for like T. Higgins and the rest of the young guys that are drilling around him. So yeah.
You can tell the Titans are playing the Pittsburgh Steelers, and a lot of people are worried about Derrick Henry because they're asking Derrick Henry or Ronald Jones.
Oh God, no! I mean, I would rather I'd rather start like Derrick Henry's like autograph.
That's what I thought too. I mean, I know that the Steelers are a good defense, but he's still Derrick bleeping Henry. Like, let's go, buddy.
Yeah, no, they're awesome. They're really great, and there's nothing to say like personnel wise. I mean, look, they did just lose Devin Bush for the year. That's one thing. I mean, they just lost their best run pursuer, but I just think in general, yeah, you ride your guy. I mean, like, look, last week Derrick Henry has 260 total yards, and you didn't really like go crazy over it, right? You were just like, that's what Derrick Henry does. He does that out 3-4 times a year. It's like we're getting just used to the fact this guy controls football games. Yeah, I mean, the floor for him is still so crazy high. He could have a bad game in football terms and still fall into 2 touchdowns.
Man, that's exactly the truth. I don't. Man, that was a weird one. Now, I got to say goodbye because my time has come up. But before I get off, I just want to ask you something about not necessarily fantasy. I mean, it is fantasy, but with Ryan Fitzpatrick, as well as he was playing, do you like the fact that they're going to Tua, and do you want any shares of Tua?
I think it's interesting. I mean, like honestly, like I'm in a deep league where I'm a 16-team league where I lost Dak, so I'm like stuck with like the Derek Carrs, like whatever's available each week, especially with that number of teams. So like I'd be interested. Like I'm not going to stash him right now, but I'm going to be interested in next week's waivers and seeing what Tua has. I think the thing is that he was never a huge runner, right? Mm-hmm. So that kind of makes you think like all the instant fantasy fun we've seen recently has been guys who can run. So I'm not sure that's the case, but dude, fantasy's fun. Like, I mean, part of the thing is getting in on narratives early, like, and it's fun. Meaning, it's fun to have a rookie. It's fun to take the chance. If anything, I think they set it up well where they have some okay skill players for him. It's not like a nothing situation.
Oh, my goodness. Last but not least, I'm going to give you one more. It just got in under the bell.
Sure.
It says I need 3 of them. This is a tough one. Chase Claypool. You got Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, John Brown, and Mr. Godwin. Pick 3.
Ooh, that's tough.
Isn't that tough?
I'm playing Godwin because he's been playing well with them. And the other 2 were, what was the other 3?
It was
Lamb, Brown, and
CeeDee Lamb, John Brown, Cooper, and Claypool.
I'm going to also play Cooper, and I'm going to play I'm actually going to play Lamb. It sounds crazy, but he still just has a 20% share of that offense. And, I still think facing the Washington football team, whatever we call them, is still the
football team.
It's still a choice matchup.
Man, I love it. So here's what you got again. Remember that we went CeeDee Lamb, Godwin, and we went with Claypool, right?
No. We
Cooper.
went with
Amari Cooper. I'm sorry,
yeah.
Dallas. Yeah, two Dallas, sorry,
Yeah,
and Godwin.
Cooper. And I know it sounds like we're loading up on there, but I just think both those guys can get their 8 to 12 targets and eat.
I think you're right, man. And I'll tell you one thing. If I didn't get to you, I'm sorry, but just go to @_Jimmy McCormick. Check him out and never, ever miss a Friday at 1:30 because we go fantasy with Jimmy every week. Have a blessed one. Enjoy the games, my friend.
Enjoy it, guys. The season's going too fast.
No joke. That's Jim McCormick. Check him out. We'll be back in 2 shakes. This is Sports 56, 98.5, 96.1 FM.
Start your day the right way with Peter Edmiston and Anthony Sane on Sports 56 Mornings. Weekdays from 7 to 10 on Sports 56, 98.5 FM and 96.1 FM.
I almost never go to Central Barbecue without running into somebody I know.
That could be because you only eat at Central Barbecue.
It's because Central Barbecue is where Memphians go to get barbecue and has consistently been voted the most popular barbecue restaurant among locals.
Actually, that's really saying something.
I know. Memphis is the nation's capital of barbecue. With all the choices, people who live here go to Central Barbecue.
They do get their share of tourists.
Sure, because Central Barbecue has been mentioned on TV and in tons of national publications. You know why?
Because of the great food?
Because those TV shows and magazines look for the place where the locals go, and that, my friend, is Central Barbecue.
Looking for a great place to deposit your money? Try First Bank. Competitive CD rates, a money market that moves with Wall Street prime and interest-bearing checking account options. Not to mention their friendly bankers who make decisions locally. To find out more, stop by one of First Bank's 3 local branches. 6482 Poplar Avenue, just east of International Paper. 8398 Highway 64 across from Wolf Chase. And 6280 Highway 64 in Oakland. Or visit firstbankonline.com. Member FDIC.
For the ones working tirelessly to keep their coworkers safe. For the ones rising to new challenges. For the ones rebuilding stronger than before. Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry. Free access to product specialists, safety recovery guides, and 24/7 support. It's part of our commitment to help you adapt and recover in these challenging times. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, Dave Woloshin here. I want to talk to you about my good friends at PrestoShutters.com. They're open right now, and prices don't get any cheaper for window replacement, window treatments, exterior shutters, inside plantation shutters, roller shades, blinds, whatever window fashion you need, they've got. Amazing deep discounts, including installation. Everything you need is American-made. Visit PrestoShutters.com or call them at 901-244-7484. That's 901-244-7484.
Hey everybody, I'm out here at Olive Branch looking at all these new Silverados at All Star Chevrolet, and guess what? It's Trucktober, and nobody has more new Silverado trucks than right here at All Star Chevrolet, and I'm seeing them right now. Look at this. You can get the Trucktober thousands in cash off price, up to $5,000 in cash back. Holidays are coming. In fact, they're already here. All Star Chevy has all these new 2020 Chevy SUVs and trucks with cash back deals in the thousands. New 3-row Traverse, new Equinox, Impala, or Malibu, all come with thousands in Chevy cash back for you. Remember, it's not Mount Moriah, not Covington Pike, not Collierville or South Haven. It's got to be Olive Branch, people. And the certified pre-owned lot is full. Impalas, Malibus, Tahoes, and Suburbans. And everyone at All-Star Chevy has one job, just one job, to make sure you have more fun, get the best deal, and in record time. So find new roads to All-Star Chevy on Kraft Goodman Road or online at allstarautogroup.com. Beat any dealer's ad price any day at All-Star Chevrolet. Best financing for everyone.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio.
Kick it over here.
This hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
Thick and thin, I'm your pusher man. I'm your pusher man.
Yes, I am your pusher man. And guess what? I got a little information for you. And of course, it's speculation. But I just thought it was so interesting, I had to bring it up today. So have you been watching any mock drafts, anybody, for the NBA? I know that people were thinking to themselves, yes, the NBA would be getting ready to fire up here. But of course, because COVID, they're not going to start till Christmas. The draft's going to be virtual. And we do have this guy, if y'all remember, Mr. Precious Achiuwa. And I've been watching a lot of mock drafts. And this is something that I saw, and I want to post this to y'all at 67129. This came out of by Jamal Bedell for the Wizard, whatever, I like the Grizz Media is Wiz Media. Wiz Media. Anyway, he comes out and says, there is officially 26 more days until the festives begin in November on the 18th. For the second straight year, Washington will be picking 9th. They're crossing their fingers that luck strikes twice. They need to add another impact player like 2019 All-Rookie second-teamer Rui Hachimura. Now, this is the big thing. Rui! Now, this is very big. Guess who they got? They say the person that they need to take. The most important thing for the Wizards is to get a 3-and-D type of person, and guess who they think that is? Precious Achiuwa. Interesting. Do you want to know what they say and the reason they say they think he's going to be so good in the NBA? Listen to this, Mr. Gabe Kuhn. Precious Achiuwa checks in at 6'9" and a quarter inches. He's 230 pounds. He has a massive wingspan at 7 feet 2 and a quarter inches, 7'2" and a quarter inches wingspan, and an absurd 9-foot standing reach. Do you know who almost has the exact identical measurables? It would happen to be the Heat's all-star forward, Bam Adebayo. Remember him in 2017? He was 6'9" and a quarter, 240 pounds, 10 pounds heavier, 7'2" and 3/4 wingspan, 7'2" and 3/4, so he's like a half an inch longer wingspan, and exactly 9 feet standing reach, just like Bam. And Achiuwa, by the way, played only one season like Bam did, but a lot of people think that he's further along than Bam was when he came out of college, and they're all, if they're comparing you and say that your ceiling is Bam Adebayo, can I ask you a question? Would that not be awesome for Precious Achiuwa? And if they think that, I don't think he does get past the Wizards, and he's going to be a top 10 pick. That would be so dope, and I would just have to say, man, where's Wiseman going to go? Like, Penny Hardaway, yes, last year didn't go like everybody wanted, but if you have 2 top 10 picks, that's still going to look dead-gum good for the University of Memphis, baby. And everybody and their grandmother is going to be watching it because it's going to be televised, and it's going to be big stuff November 18th. So I just wanted to drop that out there. Now, coming up next, Lee Sterling. Oh, that's right. We are talking Paramount Sports Best. The handicapper, the man, the myth, the living legend, Lee, he's going to break down all the football games for us on the other side. He's going to give us a bunch of winners. He's going to give you some free plays. Also going to tell you how to get his package this weekend that's going to have fights, football from the NFL and college. It's going to be a nasty card. Also, by the way, everybody needs to know this. When do the fights start tomorrow? Do you know? Don't think it's going to start at 5. It's starting at actually 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock, people. That messed me up. Thank you, Gabe Kuhn, because I would have missed my bets because I usually don't put the UFC stuff until like 3 o'clock. I would have missed a lot of stuff. Remember that, 1 o'clock tomorrow, UFC, NF. We have Big Ten football tonight. We have Big Ten football this weekend. We're going to talk about that with Alex Kuhn, Lee Sterling. The next hour is going to be out of control. Don't you dare touch that dial and say thank you. Or just go to MemphisFarmers.com and thank yourself and help yourself out and get the best insurance from the best insurance agent on the planet who happens to live right here in Memphis, Tennessee. MemphisFarmers.com. Check out Chad Gatlin, 901-235-1176. We'll be back in 2 shakes. Sports 56, 98.5, 96.1 FM.
And if the cloud bursts, thunder in your ear, you shout and no one seems to hear. And if the band you're in starts playing different tunes,
buy your next car or truck at Streamline Auto Smart. Your next smart decision. All credit welcome. Drive off in your new low-mileage pre-owned car or truck. From low-end cars to the most luxurious sports car. Ask about the 48-hour vehicle locator. Let Streamline Auto Smart do the looking for you. Close your deal within 1 hour. No waiting. It's quick and easy at Streamline Auto Smart. Your next smart decision. 2558 Mount Moriah. Call Streamline Auto Smart 901-235-8845. Your next smart decision.
Water damage to your home or business can be an absolute nightmare. And the faster you remove the standing water, the faster you can prevent secondary damage. Landmark Construction and Emergency Services specializes in water extraction. They have been a trusted name in the Mid-South for over 20 years. They are a Memphis-based company ready to serve your needs with their 24-hour emergency response. They are always on call and will respond within an hour. They work with most insurance companies and are the official restoration contractor of the Memphis Tigers home team. Landmark Construction and Emergency Services can't prevent disasters in your home and at your business, but their water damage team will certainly respond quickly to minimize and restore the damage. Call 901-452-0390. That's 901-452-0390 or online at landmarkco.org.
Attention foodies, there's a great new place to eat in a great restored building. South Hall Cafe is now open for breakfast, brunch, and lunch in the former Tobacco Corner. Chef Jesus Ramon is creating classics from scratch with a twist. Enjoy all your favorites, including the best cheese grits in the South, a full bar, an in-house pastry chef, catering, online ordering for curbside or delivery, and a covered patio with live music on the weekends. We're open 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. weekdays and 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. on weekends. South Hall Cafe, corner of Poplar and Mendenhall.
Hey folks, I'm Jarrett Carter. My family recently purchased East Memphis Ace Hardware at Quince and White Station, and we're excited to offer the best selection of Big Green Egg and Traeger grills. And then don't forget about our Benjamin Moore Paint Studio and the Garden Center for flowers. Save 60% with our new Duracell key fob replacement program. We have a master locksmith service as well as glass cutting and screen repair. The East Memphis Ace Hardware, located at Quince and White Station behind Three Little Pigs.
Hi, this is Troy Five-Ash, owner of Five-Ash Roof Services. You've heard me talk about how we offer the best products, the best warranties, and the best services for years. Now let's talk about pricing. Pricing should never be the only reason you hire a contractor, but in today's world, pricing is always a consideration. So we suggest you get 2 or 3 estimates for your roof replacement from a reputable, licensed, and insured company, and then give us a call. If we can't beat your best price for a comparable roof system by more than $100, we'll give you $100. It's that simple. We are so sure we can offer you the best price, beating all other qualified companies. We will hand you $100 if we can't, and thank you for the opportunity. So give us a call. What's the worst thing that's going to happen? Make $100? Five-Ash Roof Services, a proud supporter of Tiger Athletics and the official roofer of the Tigers home team. Five-Ash Roof Services, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Five-Ash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
All 75 months at 2.99, Mirage LHO 10129, G4 LHF 07863, Eclipse LZO 15893, includes all rebates and incentives, PF 695, excludes tax, title, and license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 11/1/2020 with approved credit, dealer stock only.
How about a brand new ride that gets 43 MPG highway, seats 5, plus costs less than $4 a day? We Gossett at Gossett Mitsubishi on the Pike. 2020 Mitsubishi Mirage, buy for $11,100 or $99 a month. 2020 G4, 41 MPG highway, $139 a month, or buy for $12,435. And 2020 Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross, $19,107 or $229 a month. Plus confidence today, tomorrow, and long into the future with a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Mirage, $99 a month. Mirage G4, $139 a month. And Eclipse Cross, $229 a month. Get to Gossett Mitsubishi today, 1870 Covington Pike, or shop online at memphismitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis, W253DF Memphis, WPGFLP Memphis, and WIVG Tunica Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
Now back to Johnny Radio's Happy Hour. On Sports 56 and 87.7 FM.
Yo, what's up? Welcome back into a little Sports 56 Happy Hour on a beautiful Friday at 2 o'clock. And you know what that means. I'm going to go talk to my good buddy at Paramount Sports, Lee Sterling, who's hotter than a firecracker. Did you know last week he told you, gave you the deal of the century. Dropped down, I think it was like 70 or 90 little bucks. 10-2 last week. 10-2 last week. That's right. 800-400-9741. Check him out, 800-400-9741. He's in Fuego. He's Lee Sterling. He does football. He does NFL. And yes, you got the fight of the year. Khabib, Gaethje, UFC. And it starts early tomorrow. Don't forget, it starts at 1 o'clock with the first fights. So make sure you get in touch with Lee right after this segment. It will be crucial. Now, I'm going to bring on my good friend Lee Sterling again, who is on fire. What's up, my man? Are you just are you smoking down there?
Yeah, we're smoking. Never. This is incredible.
You scared me last week. I'm not going to lie to you. I was looking at it, and me and Gabe even talked, and I was like, man, this is so hard, a couple of the games that you had for us to take. And then I called him back, and I was like, amen. I actually rolled with him because you were awesome last week.
Thanks. Yeah. Feel ready to go again. And when you're feeling good, I mean, it does involve more work. You got the Big Ten and the Mountain West joining the party this week, but I don't mind it. You know, if I have to work till 1, 2 in the morning, and when you're winning, it's fun. And got the UFC fights. Now, the prelims start at 9:15. So we have a couple of our selections on the prelims. So I always get someone that calls me, and they're like, oh, yeah, can I get on the fights now? I'm like, listen, we only have 1 or 2 left. So if you want to get in, and we won 21 of 27 UFC fight cards, you want to get in early, and you want to purchase them now. It's 7 selections, $77. It's an instant download. So you have all 7 selections. You want to bet it now because a lot of times, who I'm favoring on and betting on, the lines are going to go up. And on our top selections, 40 to 50 unit selections, we rate our selections in football and the UFC from 10 to 50 units. We're 11-2 in the UFC. I have a 50-unit selection in the UFC. No one's looking at this fight. Total domination. You want a first or second round knockout or submission, I have it for you.
Oh, gosh, that's it. Remember this. 800-400-9741. Paramount Sports, my good buddy Lee Sterling. Now, Lee, I got to tell you, by the way, it was just a few cards ago that you helped me turn just a couple $100 into 16, so thank you very much. You went undefeated on that night.
Yep.
Now, Lee, we got some big games. Thank you so much for Memphis last week. They pulled that Jun out. They got that monkey off their back. That was awesome. Memphis and Temple is where I want to start. 13.5. Memphis is talented. They're not looking ahead to Cincinnati, are they?
They could be. And what's going on with Coxie? Why did he decide to tap out?
Which one are you talking about? Are you talking about Coxie?
Yeah, the receiver.
Dude, he's going to the National Football League. Gainwell left, and to be honest, I can't believe how good Calvin Austin and everybody looked last week. I mean, the wide receiver core is not 6'4", but they got some speed out there, and Brady was throwing some dimes.
He was, and they kept their composure, and that's why when you have those good weeks, that games like that, when you win them, it turns it from good into great weeks. But Temple, they love this role. They won last year 30-28. Anthony Russo played well in that game, 24 for 37 for 2 touchdowns. They're 21-12 as a road dog the last 10 years, 30-13-1 the last 7 years as an underdog. Memphis is dead last in college football. I don't think they're the worst, but it's 13.5 points here. South Florida scored 37 on Temple's D last week, but here's what happened. They only had 301 total yards.
Whoa.
They had 2 kickoffs that were brought back to midfield and 2 interceptions that were in Temple territory and set up short field. So 28 of their 37 points, they didn't have to go more than 50 yards.
Whoa.
Memphis wins 36-30, but I'm taking 13.5 in Temple here.
Man, you know what? I was actually thinking the same thing because I was just like, man, look ahead, and plus Temple always, for some reason, plays
This is what they call trap game. This is trap game.
Now, speaking of traps, LSU's whole season's been a dead gum trap. They're 7-point favorite over South Carolina. South Carolina, I think, has like this, I don't know if they know who they are at all. Right. Will Muschamp just has me just befuddled watching them play. Some weeks they're good, some weeks they're horrible. Do you have a clue what happens in this game?
I don't think that that LSU can fix their defense. I don't think they're that good. And they're ranked 70th out of 77. I think the difference from last year to this year is just too much. And they're even having busts in coverage. They're going to have to make a change at quarterback because of injury. Brennan's not going to be able to play. And he wasn't great, but, he was ranked 20th in passing efficiency. And then on top of that, they have they're going to face a team, South Carolina. If South Carolina would have lost last week, then it's a tough game. You stay away. You look to LSU. But they were down 16-7, and they kept their composure. That was unlike most South Carolina teams. So I think they're playing with confidence. I think they pull off the shocker. They win this game here 30-28.
Ooh, wrong team favored.
Yep.
Oh, I love it. I love those games like that. Now, I got to ask you a question because this is one about this one. Who does LSU miss more and basically Ed Orgeron? Is it Dave Aranda or is it my man, Mr. Brady, Joe Brady?
I think it's both. I think both are huge losses.
I do too. And Bo Pelini, I don't know what he's doing right now. And I used to think he was a pretty daggum football coach, but right now it doesn't look good.
Vagabond.
Yeah, it looks bad.
Traveling salesman.
Now, speaking of, I wouldn't want to be Tennessee this week if you're talking about a traveling salesman. Go facing Alabama, Mac Jones, that wide receiving core. And if you look at that secondary of Tennessee, but there is a 21-point line after a very big win this weekend. Who do you like between Alabama and we can't even call this a rivalry game, Tennessee?
So Tennessee is recruiting better. Let's be honest about that.
They are.
Let's give them some credit. And they were playing well the first couple games.
Offensive line was playing really good, and they just kind of fell apart against Kentucky.
They fell apart. It started in the second half against Georgia. Now Jarrett Gaetano, he's holding the ball too long. And when you pump and then you throw the ball at the same spot, or you wait, you have indecision, you got problems. He threw 2 horrible interceptions. And Alabama's not the defense you're going to all of a sudden get back your mojo. Alabama's defense playing well. They get pressure on the quarterback now, stop the run of Georgia. They didn't have breaks in coverage. And Mac Jones, after that tipped interception to start the game, 24 for 32 for 417 yards against what some people thought was one of the best defenses in the last decade and 4 touchdowns. Are you kidding me? They have 2 receivers, Devonta Smith and Jalen Waddle. I think these 2 guys are almost unguardable. Smith goes for 11 catches and 167 and 2 touchdowns. Waddle for 6 and 161 and a touchdown. So I don't think Tennessee has anyone who can guard these 2 guys here. Series visitor, 22-6. Roll Tide, 48-21.
Man, I'll tell you one thing. It's got to be extremely unpleasant to be the coach during Alabama week.
Oh
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's an
odious
can you
week
imagine?
For you. I know they can't visit now with recruits, but if you're Nick Saban, and Georgia and Alabama, they go head to head on a lot of kids.
Yes, they do.
If they open it up where he can see kids, and if a kid's coming into his office to meet with him during recruiting weekend, if I'm Nick Saban on one of those TVs in the office, I'm playing that second half of the Georgia game, and that kid's got to be looking at that game thinking, how can I not come to Alabama?
True. And by the way, did you ever think when Nick first got there, did you think it would become wide receiver you?
No, I didn't. But he's coming down here a lot. Not these 2, but a lot of the other kids are from South Florida.
That is the truth. You got some speed down there.
When next time I see him, I'm gonna have to maybe give his whoever's riding his helicopter when he lands, usually in the field right next to the stadium. I have to maybe spot him a couple $100 and tell him don't come back.
Yeah, I know what you mean, man. Get those boys back. By the way, Mike Norvell needs to go get some of those guys. Now, Auburn and Ole Miss, this is a tough game in my opinion. I don't know who Auburn is. I think Bo Nix is horrible. I think Chad Morris is awful. I can't stand anybody. I don't like Gus Malzahn. Then Ole Miss, I look over there. Matt scared the bleep out of me, but I still think he's talented. I think Lane is still a good coach. That defense is horrendous. It is awful. I have no idea who should be favored. I have no idea what's going on. That's why I bring on Lee Sterling.
Okay, so Auburn last week, they lose, but -2 in turnovers. That's what I think greased the skids here. They outstatted South Carolina 504 to 316.
Whoa.
They have the better defense by far. Ole Miss's defense giving up 33 to 63 points each week. I mean, tackling is optional. I think they can fix it, but it's going to take a couple years. Auburn's got weapons. I mean, running back Bigsby, the wide receivers, Williams, Stove, and Swartz. I think they're the top 5 receivers in college football. Nick just has to play a little bit better. And, I don't think they're going to be great, but I think he and Chad Morris might be able to get it going where they can start beating teams like this. Sometimes the cream rises to the top here. I'm taking Auburn 42-35.
I'm telling you right now, Seth Williams might have like 5 touchdown catches.
Oh.
Who's going to cover him?
What year is he in?
Golly, he's a young dude. I mean, last year was the first
Could
time
he be
I saw
a sophomore?
him. I think he is a junior this year, I believe. I'd have to Google it. Hey, will y'all do me a favor and check out what Seth Williams
He's a junior.
is?
He's coming out.
Yeah, he's gone. He's definitely
gone.
Come out. He gone. He is awesome, by the way. Speaking of awesome, Lee Sterling, Paramount Sports, 10-2 last week. Make sure you jump on him while he's hot. We got also Pittsburgh, 1-point favorite in the National Football League over the Tennessee Titans, 2 undefeated Titans. Going against each other, Derrick Henry against that Steelers defense, Tannehill, Ben Roethlisberger. Who you got, Lee?
So if they played a couple weeks ago, I probably would have given out Pittsburgh, even before COVID. But Pittsburgh got geared up for last week against Cleveland. They wanted to keep down little brother. And now all of a sudden, Tennessee, hey, after that Tuesday night incredible performance, they were choppy. The performance wasn't good, but they battled to a win. Now A.J. Brown's healthy. Jonnu Smith emerging as a force at tight end. Ryan Tannehill, 40 touchdowns and just 7 interceptions in the last 15 regular season games. And it didn't even get to their lethal weapon.
Wow.
Derrick Henry. This guy is unstoppable. How do you beat Pittsburgh? You don't run east and west. You run north and south. You go between the guards. And who's missing for Pittsburgh? Devin Bush. Maybe the most underrated player in the NFL. Tennessee stays unbeaten, 31-23.
I love that.
Yep.
I love that. I love that. And I'm telling you right now, if that happens, Ryan Tannehill is going to deserve to be at least in the discussion, because if he continues to play like this, he's got to be up there. I'm not saying he's Russell. I'm not saying he's Patrick Mahomes, but he's playing like he is.
Yep. If they go 14-2 and Seattle is 12-4, I think you got to give it to Tannehill.
I'm right there with you. Now, you also have a game of the week, Tampa Bay -3 against Las Vegas. How do the people get that bad boy, Lee?
Just call 800-400-9741. Again, the number 800-400-9741. First 5 callers call in. We'll give it to them for free. And last week we had that 7 for 77, went 7-0. We've got 9 games combined Saturday and Sunday, 5 on Saturday, 4 on Sunday. Just $97. It's an instant download. You don't have to call back on Saturday morning or Sunday morning, get the selections. They're ready for you now, and they're rated from 10 to 50 units. And if you want to hop on board the phone service for 6 weeks, this month coming up is not November. We call it Dovember. 6 weeks. They use coupon code SAVE200, just $347. Works out to $57 a week. And as we mentioned when we started the show, the UFC fights, 7 selections, $77. It's an instant download, and it does include a 50-unit selection. I'm going to send it to you now.
Yes.
Let's clean up this weekend. Let's stay on this roll. I've won 6 or 7 weeks. No one hotter. No one with a documented record even close to us. ParamountSports.com.
Check him out. I can promise you, I can verify this. I play him, and I bring him back every week because he's been killing it. And again, the UFC cards, you've been smoking it. But in football, 10-2, 7-0 last weekend. What a week! Lee Sterling, 800-400-9741. I'll see you next Friday, and let's win, baby.
Okay, just send it to you just now. You should get it in the next 20 to 30 seconds. So I expect the odds to be going up with your $1,000 bet.
Oh,
all right?
I love it. Thank you, Lee. Have a blessed one, my friend. That is Lee Sterling from Paramount Sports. He is the best in the business. Give him a call, 800-400-9741. Now it's time for me to get ready to tell you something funny. But first, I got to remind you, 901, not 900, 901. Yes, that's right. You know Bill. You know what Bill's number is? 901-406-1101. 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. It's 901. Grab that pen. Come on, put it down. And the reason is because any house, any area, as simple as that. You can be in Southwind. You can be in South Memphis. You can be downtown. You can be in North Mississippi or North Memphis. I don't care. Collierville, anywhere. If you can hear my voice, you can be down in Tunica or Tupelo. Call simply Bill Bell at I Buy Houses. Why do you want to call Bill at I Buy Houses? Because he is literally the best in the business. He is class personified. He took care of me over a decade ago. I was lucky that my neighbor gave me his number. That's why I got him on here. I don't want a neighbor to have to give you this. Just go over there and call him. 901. What is the number, people? Can you say it with me? 1101. What is it? 901-406-1101. I was hoping that you were going to sing it with me, but Gabe's over there not singing. It's 901-406-1101. Call my buddy Bill at I Buy Houses. You can thank me later. I just sold your house. Let's go to Hardwood.
This is Access Hardwood.
All right, Sean Kemp sounds a lot like me sometimes, and now I know why. Because I think he's a little slow after he smokes a little green. Because he's opening up his own marijuana farm. Have you seen this?
I have. Good for Sean Kemp, man.
The Rain Man.
Love to see it.
Is now the Weed Man. Do you like that? Is that a good move?
For him, yeah. Yeah.
Well, I'm kind of
course
asking
it's a good
you that
move.
because I
feel
just
like a lot of
60
these.
Well, this is where I'm going to say, is the market not getting flooded?
It is, but a lot of these celebrities seem to sell pretty well because of who they are.
Because of their name.
Right?
Like and Willie Nelson or George Carl Junt.
And like Gronk getting involved in CBD helped that company.
Yeah,
like
that's
there's
true.
a lot of these athletes, celebrities that get involved with these cannabis companies seem to do well. I mean, by all I've seen.
I think
Mike
it's
Tyson.
a great move. Yeah, Mike Tyson. Oh my gosh. Mike Tyson. By the way, you know who else is in this business, which I kind of found very funny? Olivia Newton-John. Do you know who that is?
Yeah, of course I do.
She's
How about
the little girl in Grease. Have you ever seen that show?
I have not seen the show.
Dude, I hope you don't ever have to because it's horrible, but a lot of girls love it and they forced me to watch it many a times. But there's John Travolta and she's in it and I don't know, she's Sandy or something. But I was watching the Little Sunshine Show on Sunday and dude, Olivia Newton-John, her husband, they say is like the best grass grower out west. Like he's like, they say like he's got the green thumb for the green, man. It's kind of, dude, she's lucky. She made a lot of money and then married a man with a green thumb. Now, speaking of things that are great, I have to tell a small story. Yesterday, I had a dog, and I didn't realize, and I want to tell this because I got to thank this lady named Jamie Bishop. She is a vet. She has her own place called Center Hill. It's in Olive Branch over on Goodman Road, 14910. You can give her a call, too, 662-895-8387. She cares about animals. Yesterday, there was a dog that was basically dumped. They took all the puppies, and it was a very bad situation. The dog wasn't doing good. I went to 5 vets. Nobody would help because if I didn't bring the puppies along, and I'm like, dude, they threw the dog out of like a moving car. You know what I'm saying? Like they just harvested the puppies and got rid of the mom. Nobody would take her. I finally got in touch with this lady. Not only did she help me, help save this dog, it was like I guess serendipity was supposed to happen. She adopted the dog and named her Rolo. So this is a woman that literally loves animals. And if you want to go and check somebody out, or if you want a good vet, or if you just want to help somebody out, she's out there doing the work. Center Hill, she is Jamie Bishop. I love her to death. And she also doesn't just own Center Hill. She also volunteers at Horn Lake Animal Rescue, and they are awesome. They're at hornlakeanimal.com. Check them out. Center Hill or hornlakeanimal.com. They got some good people working over there, and they saved me yesterday. I had no idea how hard it was to get anybody to take a sick animal. I couldn't get anybody for 4 hours. So
even when it's their job to take care of sick animals.
Yeah, dude, I was very bad, by the way. I got to tell you, I was screaming at a vet going, get your butt out here and do your fiduciary duty. Don't you have the Hippocratic Oath, you moron? I was so mad.
I don't know if it works the same for animals.
Yeah, it didn't work. That's what he was like. Yeah, he just shut the door on me. I was like, look at this lunatic. But I was deadgummit determined to save that dog, and we did. Now, also, I got to say, have you been paying attention to anything funny lately? Like, do you have a hardwood story, or I just need to go and drop this insanity.
And I have to say this because I don't know if I buy this. The Buffalo Bills pilot took a trip, and he apparently supposedly, and I say supposedly, drew
the logo
by his flight pattern. But like part of me thinks like if he actually did that, the plane would go down. Like you can't be taking sharp turns like it's sort of showing. And I'll show on the for people watching the Zoom, or not the Zoom, but people watching our stream, it really is traced out. But do you buy this?
I want to just say that's very high praise. If he can really do it. But all it makes me think of is Boomer. Nobody circles the wagon quite like the Buffalo Bills, and nobody can mess
the mafia, man.
Nobody can mess up an airplane. Like, dude, that was a long trip if he really did that. And if he did do that, would he get in trouble like by the FAA or whatever?
Yeah, but if he did do that, I'm sorry. Like, I don't like the plane's going down. Does it have that much fuel? Is it supposed to be moving like in all those different directions? Like you had to turn that how many times to be able to trace that? It doesn't seem plausible to me.
Yes, it does not seem
But
plausible.
if he did it, I mean, he might be the best pilot ever. Like seriously, that's impressive.
For all my lady listeners out there, speaking of impressive, did y'all see Khabib strip down to nothing?
Do you notice how like miserable he looked in his eyes too?
Dude, he had to even take off his mask.
Those
to get weight.
fighters,
Then his
how
leg-
they drop weight.
Dude, that's
how
not
miserable
healthy.
do you think he was?
I've dropped a lot of weight, but that's like
No, that's
literally
unhealthy
from not.
weight they're dropping.
I was going to say I'm
taking all the water out of your
That's what I
body.
was saying. They're going down. That's what I was about to say. I just quit eating ice cream every night and banana pudding for breakfast and drinking beer all day. Like these guys are literally getting down to like they are
There's a
cutting
big
so
difference.
much water. Like that's what I'm saying. Yeah, there's a huge difference. All I did was cut out banana pudding for breakfast, ice cream for dessert, and a lot of beer in between. And, you know,
And they literally don't eat, don't drink. They probably go on a treadmill with.
he swims in a dead-gum frozen river.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Did you see he was swimming against the stream?
Against the stream in a frozen river because the sides were frozen and
How?
there's this little stream and he's just like going up. I don't
No,
know.
actually, how?
I don't know.
Like a river, like it looked like a pretty strong current too. In
Let me
all
tell you
honesty,
something.
he wasn't moving upstream. I'll tell you that.
He's so bad, I think the mighty Mississippi he could take. And I wouldn't want anybody to swim across that, John. But I don't know. He wrestles bears. He swims in frozen rivers in Russia. Dude's a bad man. And I will tell you other thing is a lot of ladies were very happy. He dropped down to nothing, and I just couldn't. I don't know why. I just thought that was funny. Also because a couple ladies were sending that to me. They're like, "Do you have the unedited version?" And I was like, "No. What are you talking about?"
They have an attraction to Khabib?
Somebody
Really?
actually, yeah. I don't want to call out her name.
Really?
Yeah, I got a question on the DM.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's right. Wait,
You're very welcome. I did not call you
use
out.
the DMs? What's going on?
No, somebody DM'd
Oh, okay,
and asked me that
All right.
question.
All right, just checking.
No, if I slid into
Making sure.
somebody's DMs, I would be like, honey would slit my throat. It would be a bad night. Now, I will tell you one thing. Did y'all see Kid Rock and John Daly at all? I didn't think we would ever have a Kid Rock and John Daly sighting in the same room, but they went to the presidential debate. Did you see that?
I didn't.
And they sat like
I
right,
didn't.
like 6 feet across next to each other. Like it was Kid Rock and John Daly sitting there chilling.
They were socially distanced.
But the funniest thing is the best part is if you watch the video, like after you're like, hey, there's Kid Rock and John Daly, like 2 security guards come down and hand them both masks because neither one of them had a mask on. I don't care. I just seeing Kid Rock. Like, do you think John Daly was like, hey,
I mean,
man,
if you asked me the
you
question,
know I play guitar.
if
you
you
think
a-
he said it?
If you asked me if Kid Rock or John Daly wore a mask, I'd definitely say no.
Yeah,
absolutely
that's true.
not. They do not.
Dude, John Daly is not like. I don't think COVID could even kill him. Cause,
Although
like, dude,
he's
a
sick,
survivor.
man.
Yeah, I know
he's
that's
very
true.
sick. He should be wearing a
He
mask.
should be. You're right. But I just wanted to say though, do you think? And last but not least, before I go, because Alex is coming up next, do you think John Daly said anything to him like, "Hey man, you ever listen to my music?" I mean, you got it. Like,
Aren't they like old friends?
I don't know.
I thought they were. I thought this is like I thought they're like friends.
See,
Like
I'm
actual
just
friends.
used to seeing like crazy John Daly with all of his stuff after Southwind over at East End Bar and Grill, pulling out his guitar and singing some crazy stuff or doing just some weird, being John Daly. And Kid Rock's pretty crazy too. I think they'd be
Sure
fun
is.
to party with. Whatever you do though, we're gonna
Wonder if
party.
they jam together.
sure they did. They were sitting next to each other, kind of. Like, as close as you can in the coronavirus. But John wants to jam with him like Peyton wants to be in that dude's band. But we'll be back in 2 shakes. Never forget MemphisFarmers.com. We'll be back because he is Chad Gatlin. That's right, MemphisFarmers.com. He's the best in the business. Auto, home, life, rental insurance, whatever you can think of. The power of farmers, the knowledge of Memphis, and a personal agent. MemphisFarmers.com. We'll be right back on Sports 56, 98.5, 96.1 FM.
Same great shows.
We welcome you back to Sports 56 Middays.
What's up? It's Sports 56 Happy Hour.
A new spot on the FM dial. Check out Sports 56 on our new FM home at 98.5.
Looking for some action on your favorite games? Action247.com is at your service. Action 24/7 free-to-play games are brought to you by Tennesseans for Tennesseans. Come play with us online at Action247.com. Our free-to-play games are fun and easy. Go to Action247.com and click Let's Play. And best of all, you can win cash prizes. That's right, cash prizes. Free to play online at Action247.com. You got action.
Jeep Adventure Days and Ram Power Days are rocking at Gossett Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat on Covington Pike. And guess who's got #1 ranked brand in initial quality and driver appeal among mass market brands? We Gossett! 2020 Jeep Cherokee Latitude IIHS top safety pick. $21,560 or $275 a month. Or get muscle with 2020 Dodge Challenger XST with best in-class cargo volume. $24,348 or $314 a month. Plus get ramped up in a 2020 Ram 1500 Classic Crew Cab 4x2 We Gossett at $388 a month. Drive past the rest. Come to the best. Gossett Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat 1901 Covington Pike. Online, GossettMotorCars.net.
If you want it, we Gossett at Gossett Motor Cars.
Ranked by J.D. Powers IQS and Appeal Studies, all 75 months at 4.11 APR, 3,500 down, must finance through Chrysler Cherokee, LD 643160, MSRP 28,190, Challenger LHS 214,740, MSRP 31,180, Ram LG 293,29, MSRP 37,855, includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695 excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 11/1/2020 with approved credit dealer stock only.
Water damage to your home or business can be an absolute nightmare. And the faster you remove the standing water, the faster you can prevent secondary damage. Landmark Construction and Emergency Services specializes in water extraction. They have been a trusted name in the Mid-South for over 20 years. They are a Memphis-based company ready to serve your needs with their 24-hour emergency response. They are always on call and will respond within an hour. They work with most insurance companies and are the official restoration contractor of the Memphis Tigers home team. Landmark Construction and Emergency Services can't prevent disasters in your home and at your business, but their water damage team will certainly respond quickly to minimize and restore the damage. Call 901-452-0390. That's 901-452-0390 or online at landmarkco.org.
Golfers, are you looking to play like a pro without traveling the world? Just come to Golf and Games Family Park, 5484 Summer Avenue. Golf and Games has the Top Tracer range system. Top Tracer gathers all your golfing data, distance, carry, ball speed, and more. Or choose a virtual course like Pebble Beach, St. Andrews, and Spyglass. Bring your friends and family to transform and enhance the range experience for golfers and non-golfers alike. Plus, it's fun. Top Tracer range at Golf and Games, 5484 Summer Avenue. Play like a pro.
Attention foodies, there's a great new place to eat in a great restored building. South Hall Cafe is now open for breakfast, brunch, and lunch in the former Tobacco Corner. Chef Jesus Ramon is creating classics from scratch with a twist. Enjoy all your favorites, including the best cheese grits in the South, a full bar, an in-house pastry chef, catering, online ordering for curbside or delivery, and a covered patio with live music on the weekends. We're open 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. weekdays and 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. on weekends. South Hall Cafe, corner of Poplar and Mendenhall.
Listen Sundays at 11 a.m. to join Idlewild Presbyterian Church for worship. Idlewild is a PCUSA church located in Midtown Memphis.
Now back to Johnny Radio's Happy Hour.
Kick it over here. Kick it.
On Sports 56 and 87.7 FM. Here's your host, John Harden.
Gold and shackles, ball and chain. Listen to the whistle of the evening train. You know you about to wind up dead. You don't head back.
What's up, Jerry? Bringing us back on a beautiful Friday. Alex Coon's joining us. Yes, we're going to talk some Big Ten football with Gabe and Alex Coon. But before we do, I just want to ask this question. Who is Jack Harlow?
He's a rapper.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
This little dude with the little white dude? He's
Yeah,
a
with
rapper?
the little curly hair, yeah.
He's a rapper?
Yeah, he sings the song What's Poppin'.
Really? Did you know he's made Tyler Hero a song?
Oh, yeah, his new song's Tyler Hero. Yeah, I saw that.
Dude, I haven't listened to it. I was trying during the break, but they played so many daggum commercials, I couldn't even listen to the song. So I'm going to have to listen to it
Is
later.
it out yet?
Well, I mean, I got it right here.
Oh, okay.
I even got the video, man. Bus driver pulls up.
Okay,
Tyler
we'll
By the
watch
way,
it. We'll watch it after the
Tyler
show.
Hero's in the video. I did at least see that part. Like, he comes out and he's got his shades on, looking all cool. So Tyler Hero is becoming a legend. Speaking of legends, we got to talk about Justin Fields and the Big Ten. And, of course, I got to ask Alex Coon, first of all, how is life? And is there any chance the Big Ten actually gets through 6 games?
Oh, that's my favorite question. Yeah, there's a chance. I'm beginning to kind of
get scared,
become a little skeptical that they're going to be able to get this off without any hitch, because I see where the numbers are heading in this country. But hey, they'll get through week 1, hopefully, kind of. Even though
8 games in 8 weeks. Let's do it.
Yeah, I was playing Purdue, whose head coach will not be coaching.
And also, the positivity rate 5%, that threshold's very concerning for me. I have to say.
With the team in they call it the football population. So the team, the players, coaches, and football staff inside the facility, at 7.5%.
Oh, okay. So it's okay.
Oh,
that helps a
That
little
does
bit.
help a little
2.5%. It's something.
Yeah.
It's not a whole lot, but it's something.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm sure there will be pauses. There will be cancellations, just like everywhere else.
So
there'll be football this weekend.
So being in Iowa, we've had a lot of off-season issues.
Tons.
Like a ton of off-season issues. The racial inequities. Chris Doyle getting fired. Kirk Ferentz, Brian Ferentz sort of coming under fire to a certain extent, although nothing's really fully been done. They had the internal investigation. You have the lawsuit going on right now. Is Iowa going to be ready to play this season, or do you think there's going to be a big amount of distraction going through that team?
I have absolutely no clue. That's the crazy part about going into this season. Everybody's talked about the coaching staff and the former players and the allegations of racial inequity, and we really haven't heard all that much from the current players, the people who are in the facility. Right. And how is this all affecting them? Are things actually changing, or is this going to be something that, hangs over their head all season long? I think this team is pretty talented on the offensive side of the ball. They have some skill position players that you usually don't get at Iowa. You don't see the receivers keep an eye out for a guy named Amir Smith-Marset, one of the most dynamic players in the country. Tyrone Tracy, Brandon Smith, their back. Tyler Goodson is maybe the most talented back I've ever seen this have.
Whoa.
Since I've been covering this team for the past 10 years. But it's going to be about coaching, and it's going to be about focus is from the players and drowning out the outside noise. And that is a real storyline to watch.
Well, certainly week 1 they're helped by Rondale Moore being out. That's big. That is big for them in regards to actually going and winning that game.
Man,
it's huge.
Man, think about everything is huge, and I will tell you right now, I'm taking Purdue already plus the 3.5 at home against Iowa. I'm just going to be straight with you and let you know I already got that junt because I don't want that half
locked
point
in
to go
already.
I got it yesterday. Just being straight. I like it. Tonight I haven't played anything. I don't like the game. I hate laying 20 points. If I was going to play, I'd have to take Illinois. I was kind of scared. Who knows? I might sneak over there tonight. But do you think anything about tonight? They're kicking off the Big Ten in Wisconsin. It's going to be in Madison. Illinois and that team, I mean, golly, at the end of that year, they were a covering machine. Are they going to start back where they left off, or is this, because of COVID, we have no idea what the bleep they're going to look like, and just we're going to be kind of like, they're playing football? Yay.
So Illinois, to me, is kind of a wild card this year because they believe that they have their best team under Lovie Smith, and they got to a bowl game last year. They had that upset over Wisconsin. It was if you remember right, it was Wisconsin, I believe, at 6 or 7-0. They went into Champaign. They got out to a big lead last year, and they completely collapsed and lost that game to Illinois. But I go back to a time when there was someone in the room next to you, John, who was sort of getting recruited by Illinois. And we took a visit there. And one of their assistant coaches pointed to the wall and said, you see all the bowl games that this program has made? Well, the last 4 coaches this is an assistant Beckman, by the way, who have gotten the program to a bowl game, have been fired 3 or fewer years after they got the program to a bowl game. So Illinois has this way of showing a glimpse one year and just completely falling off.
Heck, because last year, man, they were playing close games with Iowa. They obviously beat Wisconsin. They were in all of those games down the back stretch, and you're thinking, maybe Lovie Smith's starting to turn the corner a little bit. But it's also, in the Big Ten, Illinois is a tough, tough place to win at. I mean, me and you, we pitched the idea of Illinois like they don't ever recruit. They're always at the bottom of the Big Ten in recruiting. Like we talked about, I don't remember if you remember this conversation now. Jeff Monken, why not go triple option in that situation with Illinois? Because you're not recruiting the best talent. You're not in a situation where you're going to consistently be winning and being at the top of the Big Ten.
Yeah, Lovie Smith has gone almost completely the transfer route. Like he's done his best to keep some of the in-state recruits or get maybe a couple of the 4 or 5-star guys to stay around. It doesn't happen often, but he gets a few of them. But he's gone the transfer route. And I think that if this doesn't work out, you start discussing that option, no pun intended, with John and running the triple option. But they think that they have a good team. And
right.
For Wisconsin, though, you lose 2,500 yards of Jonathan Taylor. And they're starting their redshirt freshman prodigy at quarterback in Graham Mertz, who had offers pretty much everywhere. It was one of the top pro-style quarterbacks in the 2019.
So you're telling me no Jack Cohn?
No Jack Cohn.
Thank
he
God.
will not be playing.
Thank God. The noodle arm. I call him old noodle arm.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. If they had Jack Cohn in there without Jonathan Taylor, I didn't have much confidence in them at all. But they put in a big arm quarterback who they have a lot of trust in Graham Mertz, and they have some good receivers. So Wisconsin, maybe you expect Wisconsin to be a power running team, and I'm sure that they're not going to completely go away from it, but expect them to be a little bit more run and gun this year. Especially, I could see this as a team that throws the ball 30, 35 times a game.
Dang, that would be interesting. Well, I would say Illinois, though, hasn't played this style of football. If they can do it 2 years in a row since probably Kurt Kittner was quarterback. But I will say this is very important because I'm bringing up quarterbacks for a reason. Why is Joe Milton getting so much pub, and is he going to be the savior for Jim Harbaugh?
I was literally asking that same question. I don't know. I mean, we've seen him throw how many passes?
He's only played in 7 games in his whole career.
He's played against Miami of Ohio. I've heard a lot of hype. Did you have Sterling on too?
Yeah, we just had him on.
he was discussing the Michigan game with us, and said he didn't have. He was worried about Joe Milton early in his career and his ability to passes, to kind of get into a rhythm in the passing game, and it may take him 4 or 5 games. I think it's wishful thinking, because what separates Michigan from getting over the top, what has kept Jim Harbaugh from that signature win, or really even being competitive at times against Ohio State, the quarterback
yes,
play
every time.
And he was a quarterback. You would think that he would be able to find not just a game manager or a guy who's average or slightly above average. No, a guy that can go win you a game when you ask him to. And he has not been able to find that. And I think that there's the hope that Joe Milton is going to be that guy, but I got to believe it.
Yeah, I got to see it too.
But how many times do we have to hype a Michigan quarterback before we learn our lesson? Like, you get John O'Korn, you get Wilton Spate, you get Shea Patterson, all with relatively the same result. You don't beat Ohio State, you win 9-10 games, and you go to the Outback Bowl. That's sort of what happens, and you year after year you see people hype him up, and I guess it's because Jim Harbaugh is he's supposed to be able to coach these quarterbacks, but that's interesting to me. But me and John had this conversation. Everyone seems to, and I think it came up because Heather Dinich said it on ESPN. Penn State losing Micah Parsons. You have KJ Hamler is with the Broncos now. Journey Brown is looking like he might not even play this year, and yet they seem to be getting the hype in regards to being that second team in the Big Ten. Do you buy that, or are we just sort of reading into it a little bit too much, and they will be sort of in the driver's seat to be in the Big Ten championship?
No, they're not going to be in the Big Ten championship. To me, under any circumstances, the difference between number 1 and number 2
is huge
in this conference. Is ridiculous. It's Ohio State, and then I don't think anybody has any idea who number 2 is. I think that coming into the year with Micah Parsons returning and the 3-headed monster they had at running back, and a pretty solid defense, that they were maybe the one team that people thought, okay, well, they have some of the horses to be able to stand up to Ohio State, but I'm not sold on Sean Clifford as a quarterback.
Me and John have had this. We are definitely not sold on the guy.
I call him AKA the Big Red Dog.
I'm certainly not sold on him.
The numbers are there, but it's like I saw him play against Memphis, and if Penn State does not run the ball down Memphis's throat that day, Penn State doesn't win the game because his quarterback play was pretty bad.
Guys, their Week 1 matchup against Indiana, do not overlook that one.
Ooh, I'm with you.
Indiana,
right?
Indiana with Michael Penix Jr., a mobile quarterback, a playmaking quarterback, and we know the blueprint to beat Penn State. Memphis exposed it. Minnesota last year exposed it, and Indiana exposed it. Dink and dunk them to death. They have a really good front seven, but their secondary does not want to chase around slot receivers all day, and Memphis exposed them in that regard. And I feel like there are going to be a lot of teams that try to do that. Indiana is one of those teams who has shown that at 6.5 points, I'm looking at Indiana, and I think they have a chance to win that game.
Dang, that actually is. I like that you told me that, because that game was completely. I'm sitting there writing stuff down. That was off my board unequivocally. Last thing I'm going to ask you before I go. When you talk about doppelgangers, who do you think looks more like James Franklin and Michael Key, or Stan Van Jeremy and Ron Jeremy?
So John, he pointed that out to me, that The Stan Van Gundy thing, that
Looks
is
just
hilarious.
like Ron Jeremy.
It is so funny. You called him Ron. He accidentally called him Ron Van Jeremy.
No, it was Stan Van Jeremy, which is actually like, oh wow,
It's pretty close, isn't it?
It's a hard one.
Put an image in my head, John.
Sorry
that I
about
can never-
that. Well, don't.
I can't erase it.
I don't want to say Jeffrey Tobin or Carol Baskins then either. Alex, I love you.
I'm gonna
Go
gonna go with James Franklin and Keegan Michael Key.
Yeah, they are almost identical, but Stan and Ron are doing pretty good themselves. Speaking of doing good, I know you got to go get your tacos, a couple left-handed cigarettes. Give Alex a follow at Alex Kuhn 523. Listen to him at KGYM Radio, and make sure you tune in every single Friday at 2:30 where we rock with the two Kuhn brothers.
See ya, Al. Try not to think about the Stan Van Jeremy thing. Try and keep that out of your mind.
I'm gonna try. See you guys.
Good luck, my friend. We'll be back in 2 shakes. Never forget 901-406-1101. My good buddy Bill at I Buy Houses. Any house, any area. As simple as that. We'll be right back. Sports 56, 98.5, 96.1 FM.
Spend your lunch with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy on Sports 56 Middays.
Lunchy munchy.
Weekdays from 10 till 1 on Sports 56, 98.5, and 96.1.
Brian Smith, we love the one and only Lexus dealership in Memphis.
Thanks, Stats. The fall months are always the best time to shop for both new and pre-owned cars. We're right in the middle of model year end change. The 2020s have got to go to make room for the new 2021 models, and we continue to trade for the best pre-owned cars in the city, all makes and models.
Service is one of y'all's hallmarks.
Our award-winning service department is adhering to all socially distanced safety precautions.
You can experience amazing at Lexus of Memphis at 2600 Ridgeway and online at lexusofmemphis.com. At Jason's Deli, you can stuff yourself full of great deli food that's healthy, fresh, and best of all, it's not expensive. Jason's Deli is all about choice. Whether you're looking for a gluten-free menu, vegetarian sandwiches, healthy kids' meals, or if you'd like to invent your sandwich via the build-your-own selections, Jason's Deli has you covered. And they only use fresh, wholesome ingredients. Choose from the club and specialty sandwiches, paninis, wraps, soups, salads, pastas, and much more. I love the cleanliness in the restaurant, the hospitality, and of course the cost. They have a huge salad bar and great soups, including Southwest chicken chili, fire roasted tortilla, organic vegetable, tomato basil, and many, many more. And if you're planning an event, their catering department is fantastic and can handle any size party. Go check out Jason's Deli's 4 locations. On Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, that's my favorite, on Germantown Parkway in Cordova, at Poplar and Highland, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch.
First Bank is here to help you, whether you're a business looking for a loan to expand or refinance an existing one, a homeowner looking for a mortgage or home equity line, a consumer wanting to finance your dream car, or wanting a competitive rate on your CD deposits. Let First Bank try to handle your banking needs. Stop into one of First Bank's 3 local branches today. 6482 Poplar Avenue, just east of International Paper, 8398 Highway 64 across from Wolf Chase, and 6280 Highway 64 in Oakland. Or check them out online at firstbankonline.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hey, Dave Woloshin here. I want to talk to you about my good friends at PrestoShutters.com. They're open right now, and prices don't get any cheaper for window replacement, window treatments, exterior shutters, inside plantation shutters, roller shades, blinds, whatever window fashion you need, they've got. Amazing deep discounts, including installation. Everything you need is American-made. Visit PrestoShutters.com or call them at 901-244-7484. That's 901-244-7484.
As a pro, you've got what it takes to do your job. But for some jobs, it's good to know you can rent what it takes from the Home Depot. Like pro-grade tools and large equipment. Everything from skid steer loaders and concrete saws to paint sprayers. The kind of gear you need when you need it, only when you need it. And when you're done, just bring it back. For the pro-grade tools you need to finish the job, start with a click on homedepot.com/rent. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
All 75 months at 2.99, Mirage, LHO 10129, G4, LHF 07863, Eclipse, LZO 15893, includes all rebates and incentives, PF 695, excludes tax title and license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 11/1/2020 with approved credit, dealer stock only.
How about a brand new ride that gets 43 mpg highway, seats 5, plus costs less than $4 a day? We Gossett at Gossett Mitsubishi on the Pike. 2020 Mitsubishi Mirage, buy for $11,100 or $99 a month. 2020 G4, 41 mpg highway, $139 a month, or buy for $12,400 $135. And 2020 Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross, $19,107 or $229 a month. Plus, confidence today, tomorrow, and long into the future with a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Mirage, $99 a month. Mirage G4, $139 a month. And Eclipse Cross, $229 a month. Get to Gossett Mitsubishi today, 1870 Covington Pike, or shop online at memphismitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
Now back to Johnny Radio's Happy Hour.
Let's go!
On Sports 56 and 87.7 FM. Here's your host, John Harden.
Many a hand has scaled the grand old face of the plateau. Some belong to strangers and some to folks you know. Holy Ghost and talk show hosts are planted in the sand to beautify the foothills, shake the many hands. There's nothing on the top but a bucket and a mop and an illustrated book about birds. You see a lot up there, but don't be scared. Who needs Jackson when you got words?
Welcome back to the Little Sports 56 Happy Hour. It's the last segment of the week. It's time to get ready for the weekend, or it's time to get ready for happy hour, if you know what I'm saying. It's going to be a happy weekend, especially if you got Lee Sterling, 800-400-9741. Get ready to rock and fire on some games. I'm going to tell you right now, I like Minnesota. They're getting points versus Michigan at home. It's going to be 30 degrees, freezing. There could be snow. And again, I do not believe in Mr. Joe Milton, or I don't believe in Jim Harbaugh. I mean, it's sad to be, but it's true. I think the little brown jug? The little brown jug, you know, they play for? Dude, by the way, you know I saw where the little brown jug is like since 1903?
They play for how? We looked this up one day on middays. Let me look this up. Big Ten rivalry trophies. It is ridiculous.
The axe, the little brown jug. What else we got?
They have some ridiculous.
They do have some weird stuff they play for. But this weekend, I think Minnesota goes ahead and just sticks a knife in Michigan fans' heart.
Yeah.
And I mean right off in week one at their house. And they take the little brown jug. By the way, the little brown jug started because in 1903, the coach for Michigan thought that Minnesota would put like things that would make you run at both ends in the water. So he bought a 5-gallon jug, and they used that as their water. 5 gallons for the whole team, by the way. And that is now the little brown jug. Tell me they weren't cruel back then. Hey, you got to play a whole football game? We have no pads on. You about break your shoulder every game, and you only got 5 gallons between all of you. Jeez.
It's a different time.
Thanks, Coach. It is a different time. By the way, speaking of different times, we got Big Ten football on tonight. Yes, it's Friday night. We also got CBHS at Conway, Arkansas, starting right here on Sports 56, 98.5, 96.1 FM. You can hear Eli Savoy on the call on Saturday. We got Ole Miss Auburn beginning at 9 a.m. with the pregame. And then don't forget, Sunday, Seahawks at the Cardinals. It's 7 o'clock, and Monday, Bears at the Rams. Make sure you keep it locked here to Sports 56, 98.5, and 96.1 FM. And never forget, when you're getting ready for the weekend, be kind to yourself. Be kind to your family. Be kind to your wife. Be kind to your friends. Go to Central Barbecue. I've always said there's no bigger buster than a dude who tries to cook his own ribs in Memphis, Tennessee. You know why? Because you can't cook them as good as Central Barbecue. Central Barbecue makes the best ribs in the world. There's nothing worse than, hey, dude, come on over, man. I'm going to cook some ribs. And then you found out they're not some Central homie cooked them. I'm like, why do you think you can cook ribs, bro? You got a huge smoker out there that do you smoke them for like 24 hours and like do all the stuff that Central does? No, you don't. Central Barbecue smokes everybody. Smoke is their sauce. Go to eatcbq.com. Ship their barbecue anywhere in the US of A. Plus get catering, have some events down there, or just visit any of their 4 great locations downtown. The original in Central, Summer, and the new bad boy on Poplar. Central Barbecue, get the best in the business. Coming up next, Wolo and Stats, they're going to drive you home. Enjoy the football. Enjoy the fights. But whatever you do, don't go Jeffrey Tobin. Get out there and make this world a better place. See you on the flip side. Peace!